What's up, guys? We're going for another live fitting. I'm joined by Dan Rapaport, Mr. ForePlay and Barstool himself.
What's going on, Trotty? It's lovely to see you.
Hell of a golfer. We're bringing the crew a little combo set.
Yeah.
We've just had an eye-opening moment in there, which hopefully we're going to get into this video for you when it comes to loft and lies. A lot of stuff that we didn't know. We're going to be looking at both golf balls, seeing some good golf shots. This is going to be a live fitting with a good player. Let's get it done. So pick a target, whichever you fancy right now. We're not looking at anything.
Have they mowed, like, this is nicer than it was when we were here last time.
From there all the way through to the yellow flag, it's brand new.
Yeah.
Current set of golf clubs are P770s in the black finish. Not my favorite, obviously not my golf clubs. As we look into how the clubs are marked and how the clubs are worn, you can see in the short irons, there's quite a lot of toe strikes. A lot of stuff that becomes questionable. Dan's complaining about the long irons just coming out like absolute bullets.
Missiles.
Missiles, there you go. So we had to address that, but it's interesting to have a player of this level that plays a lot of different parts of the States using 770s all the way through. And if you do dive into the set, he's not hitting it right now, there's a 48-degree mill grind 4 in here. So you've got the pitching wedge and then the 48 mil grind 4. Diving into loft and lies, we've literally just made a combo set of 770s and CBs and then gone way back to pretty much standard lie. And I hate, as you know, there being a thing called standard lie. I hate it because there is no standard, especially when you get to this level and to the peaks of the game. Standard is BS.
I also think when we built that set of the 770s, I was living in New York. I wasn't playing nearly as much. I wanted some just like forgiveness.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm playing a little bit more now, a little bit more control. So I feel like now we have a better sort of base to work off of.
Now, you really like this golf ball, right? You've already said about X, you like X.
I like X. I love the PIX. I just love being able to see which one's mine. I love changing it up. I feel like it's like a little bit of a present every time, you know? I get to open up. It's like, oh, today we got the Pac-Man. But I'm open.
But I think when a player comes here, PIX we're not coming off of, but when a player comes and they want to use X, which you've been quite vocal on that, try and do your fitting around that. So you may look at those loft and lies and somehow, Q, I'm going to create some work for you. We're going to get the old set and the new set numbers down the screen here so you can see it. You're going to notice how weak the loft is on the new set. I'm starting there to combat the X golf ball. If Dan had said, I can move and have negotiation on the 5, which I've got sat here right now, then maybe we'd have made those lie angles different. But X is going to be where we're at.
I always play golf. I love playing golf, like so much.
So you don't practice much?
No. I get very, very bored on the practice tee. I play a lot of golf. I love playing. That's
great.
People always laugh, but I always say one of the main reasons I got into this job was I just wanted to be as close to it as possible. Yeah. Like once I realized I wasn't going to play on tour, it was just like, okay, I love this. Let's keep it going. Oh, it's going for that one. Did anyone see that go in the hole?
That go in or was it short?
It went in.
Good shot.
You got it in camera. Okay.
Were you going for that?
I want that one. No, I was going for the yellow one line-wise, but I mean, it's not far off to be fair, but
let's get into the fitting. Hit okay. If you're good to hit.
I'm good to go, yeah.
Hit 7-9. Going over that yellow flag that you were just going to, is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Right, yeah, send this. Let's get some numbers on this. Okay.
That's not typical.
Meaning
it doesn't, that was kind of, I actually didn't hate that. That one
I loved it.
That one had a little bit more spin and a little bit more flat, like.
Had a little bit more spin with 6100.
That's more spin for me. You'll see, if I'll hit a hot one, you'll see it's.
I don't need to see anymore.
Yeah.
Let's hit this straight away. Right, CB7-iron, huge difference now. This is significantly weaker.
It looks like 8-iron.
Yeah. Remember, it's flatter and it's weaker. You won't have to be doing anything weird anymore. Go again, just get a feel for it. Nice flight, that.
Yeah, I like that. That's gonna hold.
7,100 spin.
Yeah, so it's way more.
Yeah.
Already. And that first one the first one I hit was probably the spinniest 7-iron I've hit in about a month.
Yeah, you can't read too deep. So your first golf shot was 6,100, and without normalize, just as we sit here, 167 carry. And the launch came out at 15.5. And then I'm going to take those 3 shots you just hit there, and 166, 7,100, and the launch came out at 16.
Yeah, so it's just a totally different
way
flight.
of getting where we're trying to get to.
Same number though.
Same number, but totally different way. Like even we'll have a look at apex. That'll be what gives it away. There you go. 84.
That was hit way more solid.
Apex 96. You started at 81.
That's a big difference.
That's feet.
That's 20% difference.
That's colossal.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's really good.
That is really nice. That one.
Because do you know where I was about to go, and you'll hate me for it? TP5 golf ball. I still think you might have to consider it.
Listen, if they make them in PIX,
they make them in PIX.
I'm a PIX loyalist.
They make them in PIX.
I am not a TP5X loyalist.
Because if I said to you, and you've already said it when we did the pre-thing, back foot hammer one, you'll bring the apex and the spin down.
Right.
I need you to get higher, more spin. Like that's definitely manageable. If you've got to stay in X, then that's manageable. Because there comes a point, and anyone out there watching this, let's hit a 5 just to see it. But there does
just feels way better.
The 5 does.
No,
yeah,
just
night and day, mate. Yeah. Night and day. The fitting's done, by the way.
Well, it just felt like with the old ones, and these guys saw it yesterday. I would just like hit these poles where it's just like, oof.
But Dan, this is why we spend 25 minutes doing loft and lies.
Right.
And that's how a tour fitting works. Keep that club hit TP5.
Oh.
That's how a tour fitting works. You don't hit ball after. What's what annoys me about these commercial fittings? People go there for hours. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, I just get tired.
We don't need to do it. So this is really good. Apex again, 96 on that last golf shot. Brilliant.
Yeah, that was high.
And I really think if you go and play somewhere that's firm and fast, you got to consider this golf ball you're about to hit. It wasn't high, it was good.
No, it was perfect.
Because if I take your club speed at 89 and then your apex at 96, we're in a good window.
It was a terrible swing.
Softer feel though, right?
Yeah, definitely. Sounds a little different. Sounds a little different. It's way spinnier. Yeah. Way spinnier, right?
Yeah. 64 was the last one. Right here. Got the number for you. Little heavy?
Maybe a touch, yeah.
So that should be down a bit. So your heavy one, looking at this spin rate, 6,000. Look at that.
That's pure.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Good.
What do you want to see it? Does that rule hold the 1,000 per, like 7,000 for 7-iron?
So they always say that Tiger, likes even more than that. That he likes to take the number.
But he's a big spin. He plays a lot of spin.
And he uses that Bridgestone ball that spins like hell. And then we would talk about Morikawa the same. I think for you, if you can get around the 6,000 number, the 7,000 number for the 7-iron, then we're in the right place.
Toey.
Any fear on having a CB and a 7-iron?
No.
Good. What would you say to anyone out there who feels like they're in the same situation you're in with a CB and they're like, should I go combo set?
I mean, I would say I mean, you're definitely, if you're lying to yourself if you don't have a different mindset when you're hitting, 4-iron versus 9-iron.
Yeah.
With a 4-iron, I mean, even the pros, you see all the numbers. It's all just about like if they can hit it to 30 feet, hit it on the green. That's a good shot, especially if you're an amateur, a good amateur. You're finding the putting surface at 200 yards, even 190. Like, you're really not trying to get at pins or anything unless you have the scoring clubs in. So I think it makes sense to have a sort of like a natural divide in the bag.
So here's a question for you. How do you keep your expectations there? When you're out on tour, as often as you are, you're around the best players in the world, it gets very easy to start thinking like one of them.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself in reality?
Well, I've got good numbers in front of me. Like I know I've seen the breakdowns of, what's average proximity on the PGA Tour, what's an average proximity for a college player, what's an average proximity for, kind of like a scratch amateur, which is sort of the category I put myself in. But it is difficult. I mean, you watch these guys, they make it look so...
I struggle with that.
So damn easy.
It's so annoying.
You have to just keep looking at the numbers and remind yourself you are not a... And one of the things that I always say to myself is, there are things that I'm good at that they're not good at.
Yeah.
And that's something that you have to remember, right?
Like the journalist thing.
Right, like they could not do what you do. Yeah. Right? And then there are certain things that they do that you can't do, and it's just important to keep that in mind.
I think that's a great way to look at it. That's great. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, that's good.
That's gone a long way too. That's awesome.
At my level, I can't ask for much more of a 4-iron than that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So he's going to be 6-iron based on the conversation that he feels, which I think is a good way to be, that if it's 200 yards out and he hits the green, he's very happy with that, which I think expectation-wise is the correct way to be. That's a 5, spot on. You can hear the sound of the spin. We are hitting slightly into breeze here.
Yeah, and a little up.
Which, so when you fit like this, you want to just be able to
But that was good
see
because
the
I was
flight.
worried that that was going to be really short because it felt very spinny for me, but
191.
it wasn't that short.
And then if I normalize, that's carry. Look at this, Dan. If I normalize 201, maybe.
Yeah, that's about. And I'm okay hitting. I need to hit my long irons a little shorter, I think, because the way they're going right now, it's not a sustainable distance for a good strike. I mean, you saw how far was that 4-iron going? Probably 230 in the air.
Yeah. Well, that had 5,000 spin. That shot.
That's great.
Yes, it's lovely.
So that felt like a spinner for me, but that's what the pros are feeling. That's like a good.
And it's interesting you mentioned attack angle. You're down 7 on that. So, but look, the ball's a long way back in your stance right here. So yeah, which is probably why you're getting the right ball. So yeah, I would move ball position just to
I got a lesson too.
Exactly.
How good is that?
Well, I just do this for free, you know what I mean? So for you, you know, I think ball's so far back. And I think that's why you've got right going.
Well, they call me Backfoot McGee, you know? As good as I can hit it.
That's awesome.
Way
Easy.
better direction. Cool.
Done?
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's do it.
You ready to play some golf?
Let's play some
Exactly.
golf.
So there you have it. It all boils back to fundamentals, huge changes when it comes to lie angle and loft. Going to get all those on the screen for you right here. What was your takeaway from that?
Yeah, it was just amazing how far off I was with the old stuff. But it's really important to, like, I didn't even have a working understanding of what that would do to the ball flight, and it all makes a lot more sense now. And I mean, from the first one you handed me, I could feel just the sound was different. It felt more like explosion-y as opposed to deflecting off a face.
So the thing that strikes me, you're talking about someone's golf game that's around the tour every week, every other week.
Yeah.
Knows what a good shot is, and still is like using stuff that's way off for what they need.
It's one of the things that I'm a little embarrassed about is my lack of gear knowledge. So every time I come here, it just makes the game so much simpler. And you think you know, but you don't really until you get a guy like this who can really tell you. And especially for me, it's a huge reference knowing what, you know, because if I go get a fitting or go hit balls with a pro at a local club, you know, they haven't been around it like Trotty has with the pros, so it's nice to have that reference.
You've got to stay on top of it as well. I think for you that plays so much, you've got to stay on top of it. Even just a simple thing about ball position there, it changes start line as we saw at the end. Don't have to do major changes. A couple of things. You've got talent. We can see it.
Yeah.
Stripe show.
We were talking about this. I mean, one of my big takeaways from being out on tour this year is just you see the best players in the world. You see Scotty. What is he doing every week? He's checking ball position. He's checking his grip. It's not rocket science.
Not rocket science.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kill it for everything. So, thanks, mate.
Good
awesome
stuff.
stuff.
I appreciate it,
guys. If you like what you're seeing, dive down in the comments. If you've got any questions, this combo set is going to be massive. But of course, you have to spend time before you get onto the fitting tee, getting the loft and lies, getting them dialed, getting them where they need to be. You can save absolute hours when you get in here. Any questions, as always, in that comment section, and be sure to follow the ForePlay guys. All Dan's stuff, it's all going to be down in that description. He puts some mega stuff out there. Keep on top of it.